It's a beautiful morning. This is going to be a day of my first time ever in driving in Vietnam. First time ever. I believe this is the vehicle that's going to take me around the island, and I'm going to do some sightseeing today. And I'm pretty amped up to do so and just check out the sceneries, the mountains, maybe do a little hike here and there, and kind of see a few, beautiful, pristine beaches along the way, and maybe do a tour of a couple places. We'll see. But I'm about to hop in that vehicle right now, and let's get started. It's not this vehicle. It's this. Let's go. Made it to my first stop, Sao Beach. It's like an area where there is a cover charge where you get in, probably in the afternoon, evenings. They let me in only for this morning, and it's only like 60 BND to get inside. 60,000 BND. That's only about $2.28, not much at all in USD. And it's a beautiful scenery with all these waves just gently flowing in, and then I look out in the distance and see all those power lines, all those power towers coming in. Looks like it's coming from the mainland of Vietnam. I really don't know, but it's really fascinating how they can run all those power lines all the way in to this island. That's really cool. But what I'm seeing here are some available activities that are here on this particular beach. With some of the jet skis, and looks like you have a bit or two you can rent out to go in the water, whatever you want to do with that. I really don't know. And a banana boat looks like behind, and some kind of floating animal. So yeah, it's kind of a animal raft. But it's really a cool place, I think. I mean, I would not mind spending an evening here just to enjoy this part of the island. Sao Beach would run from that end to my right all the way to that end to my left. And what I noticed is I don't see any hotel resorts, but when I was driving in, I see a few hotels, or more like bungalow types or whatever. My only guess, I mean, not those prestige hotels like the Marriott's or the one place I'm staying in right now. That's more like the mom and pop shop type hotels, but it's about 5 stories high. But this area, or more, I would say it's more like bungalow, privately owned type, resorts, that are just outside the beach area. And looking behind me, welcome to Fun Beach. My only guess is it's probably a stage for like live bands or DJs, perhaps that are playing all kinds of music to entertain the crowd. And I have an impression that this is such a fun place, especially at a place when it's called Fun Beach. Yeah, Sao Beach is I got a good impression for this in particular gem, and has something available, even a massage. But this is one of the places I may consider coming to in the nearest future, whenever I get back to this island of Phu Quoc. There's no parking. I bet it's in a different area. Yep, it's gotta be in a different area. GPS got it wrong. They sent me up here. Yes, indeed, that's where I should have gone. Oh, these tour buses. Yep. I'm afraid so. Well, I made it to the spot where I was supposed to be. And, they had the GPS wrong. And I had to turn around and came here. Somebody behind me actually was honking its horn when I made the wrong turn, when the GPS directed me to make that turn. And so I thought, a few minutes later, okay, I think there's no parking, and that's probably the reason why I got honked at. And all things considering, and that being said, I have made it to Quoc Pagoda. So it's just a hidden spot here. That's kind of the main temple of the island. And I'm gonna walk around, have a look, and find and see if there's anything that I can learn about today at this beautiful temple. This place is relatively brand new. Built in 2011. Built for like the major missionary Zen Buddhists. That's pretty much what it's for this particular island. But it's not an ancient place, but it has some kind of real history to it. being it's in the middle of January, and it's not rainy season right now, and we're not seeing much of any water. This is kind of your area of the river flow and the stream from the way I'm seeing it, and there's not much of a stream that's happening because of lack of rain. Since I've been here over the past almost 10 days, I haven't seen one drop of rain. Not one. And the price of admission was only $30,000. Welcome to Hamninh, small little town. And I dealt with some heavy traffic in this place. Unbelievable. Looking here, all the piers that you see surrounding me, tons of fishermen. They're probably out on their boats right now looking for some big time fish. And that's what they do for a living, because a lot of people eat fish here in Vietnam and all throughout Southeast Asia. And I'm going to spend a few minutes here and just relax, get a break from driving, of course. And then I got my next spot coming up very shortly. Nice. Yeah, this is a cold, iced coffee, milk tea of some sort, really thick. It's a really thick drink. It's hard to drink out of a straw for sure. It's hard to drink out of a straw for sure. Yeah, what really caught me by surprise was, I get the milk tea like up to here with the coffee in there, and then you have this, ice bag of just, clumps of ice, and you throw it in there, and then you mix it all up, and once it's all done, then you try it. I think it's really good. I think it's really rich taste to it, and I think it's quite delicious for something that I never thought I would try. Thank you. Have a great day, all right? Bye. I'm gonna park. Yeah, I'm gonna park right here. Yeah. That's it. Perfect. Awesome. Awesome. I made it. Somehow, I made it. After going through all that mess. Wow. Rach Ven Village, the north end of this island of Phu Quoc. Just walking in the parking lot area, all dirt. And I'm just self-guiding. And see a number of tourists here with tour guides. And I'm just self-guiding the whole thing. Wow. I'm gonna walk around some of the deck areas, the pier areas, check out the scenery, some of the fishermen in the water, and just kind of enjoy what this place is like. God, how did I get up here? Wow. Now, if you notice, to see how the pier, it's just going straight out into the Gulf of Thailand. It's just, there's so much shallow water just sitting there. It's probably maybe a couple feet deep, all the way out until you get past that final building on this particular pier and pretty much any other piers. Several spots on this particular pier. It has a little bit of food markets, small eating areas in different directions. Probably most of the fish, which I don't eat fish. I did see somebody, with a plate full of shelled oysters. That's pretty good. And that's where they cook their meal. And they have eating areas here, there, and in that direction. everywhere are piers and local street food out in the sea. I can't get to all of them, but I need to go for a hike, and I feel like I'm running out of time. I'm on the north end of the island, and eventually I gotta work my way all the way south because that's where I got my rental car at my hotel, and it takes a lot of time to get there, and I'm in the middle of the afternoon. So I'm gonna go back in the vehicle and let's go for a hike. Well, according to the map, it didn't look like a dead end, but I'm at a dead end, so I'm gonna turn around, and I got 2 areas I want to get to. It's highly doubtful to get where I'm gonna go in time. It's not good. Well, I'm gonna go for a forest walk after all. This is where I parked, and somebody told me that this road, this dirt road, goes to about somewhere about 18 to 20 kilometers. It's pretty long to be on that dirt road. I'm not gonna do that. And what I'm gonna do is just walk around the trails. This is gonna be a nice little forest walk, and do that for a few minutes, and then I will decide where to head to next. Well, I'm gonna go for a forest walk after all. This is where I parked, and somebody told me that this road, this dirt road, goes to about somewhere about 18 to 20 kilometers. It's pretty long to be on that dirt road. I'm not gonna do that. And what I'm gonna do is just walk around the trails. This is gonna be a nice little forest walk, and do that for a few minutes, and then I will decide where to head to next. Being a dry season, I wish it would rain. Not a time right now where you call it a rainforest, but I am actually in a rainforest where there's no rain. This path is getting a little bit sandy. I think I'm getting close to the beach or the ocean. Just moments away, I think. Let's find out. Now, looking at the GPS, I am pretty close to the sea. Maybe in a couple minutes. Looking straight ahead, I think I see a meadow. Yeah, some clear sky. I think the trees are beginning to end and we're almost at the sea. I have the whole spot to myself. Yeah, it's pretty nice. A good camping spot and pretty well hidden. I didn't want to go all the way down the water because it's like a little bit of a steep hill to get down there, and I almost slipped in the water. But really nice to be secluded in the forest like that, right next to the Gulf of Thailand. And then what I'm gonna do next is go back the same path and find my vehicle and get to the next place I need to go. Let's do it. I just came at the end of the road here at Gahn Dau Beach. Looking outside, had to go through this village all the way from the back to get down here, and there's the water, and it appears there's a beach over there, and some restaurants right behind me, at least one of those, and a motorbike coming towards me. And looking over some private homes, probably condos, apartments, or motel rooms, I guess. Yeah, going through all these areas here, I mean, it's just quite a challenge, you know, going through all these, you know, squeezing through all the markets, the motorbikes getting past me or getting around them. Kind of driving a slower vehicle, it's kind of hard to maneuver around in those certain areas. But yeah, I made it down here without a scratch, and then went by an amusement park, which is Ven Wonders, or Ven Pearl, and will not be going into that amusement park. Time constraints, but maybe someday. And then there's a hotel resort just behind, beachfront resort. And I've just had a dead end, and I'm going to go back in the car and turn around. And as I go through the village one more time, I'll show you some sights and sounds as I drive through. And it's going to be a challenge one more time. not the 95 octane. It takes diesel. I made it back, all in one piece, without a scratch, without an incident, without any dings, waving in, waving out through villages of all these motorbikes, and just be as relaxed as possible, knowing the fact that was the position I was going to get into. Wow! I never thought in some places, like, I go in a couple places like, how in the world did I get here, and how in the world did this happen? And it's something unique that you never find, and some quirkiness, even on the GPS, to indicate where I need to go, and then I get to the wrong, make the wrong turn where I'm supposed to head to another part of the area to get to that one spot, and then the GPS shows there's one road that leads to another, and all of a sudden it turns into a dirt road that goes on for about 26, 27, maybe 28 kilometers. And I said, I don't think I'm gonna do that. So I kind of detoured after I did the hike and went around, and it was based on what the GPS said, and it was correct. It was a lot faster. Wow. All right. I did it. First time ever in Vietnam. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Give me a thumbs up. Ask me any questions you have and any comments. Whatever you have, just let me know. Thank you for watching.